And from the Venezuelan side, the Interior Ministry said in a statement late on Thursday that the United States has suspended a migrant repatriation flight, which had been set to arrive on Friday amid months of high tensions between the two countries. The U.S. is executing a large-scale military buildup in the southern Caribbean as President Donald Trump campaigns for the ouster of Venezuelan leader Nicolás Maduro. The ministry added it is confident the U.S. will rectify the situation sooner than later. Repatriation flights, which this year have returned more than 18,000 Venezuelans, mostly from the U.S., were briefly halted earlier this month after Trump said Venezuelan airspace should be considered closed. For this conversation, we have Alexander von Rugen, a global policy expert. He's a familiar face here. Thank you very much for joining us. Maduro's simple explanation is that Washington wants to grab their vast oil reserve. Is this the case, actually, considering all that is known about the situation between the country and the U.S.?
Well, I think his comment isn't 100% wrong. I think the end game is to consolidate Venezuelan oil, which is one of the largest reserves in the world. But it's a deflection against other guilt. I mean, if you're a drug dealer and you're a money launderer and you're supporting terrorism, to say someone's after the assets of your country is a deflection. I mean, let's deal with the real problem at hand here. What are the reasons for the sanctions? Why is the U.S. surrounding Venezuela? They want to put a stop to a lot of things. But I think the deal-making part of it, as Trump would say, would be to cash in on the oil.
What are the implications here of the U.S. seizing oil tankers off Venezuela's coast under international law?
Well, under international law, there's guidelines for it. Piracy, slavery, unauthorized broadcasting of all things, hot pursuit when a chase is initiated in sovereign territory and goes into international waters, and stateless vessels. So there's a new term that's emerged both in Russia and Iran and now Venezuela: shadow fleets. Shadow fleets are referred to oil tankers that are moving sanctioned fuel around the world, either impersonating other vessels, not flying under a specific flag, or flying under multiple flags to confuse anyone that might be watching. And I think we have to watch this closely as this unravels, because one of any of the above I just mentioned may be the reasons that the U.S. justifies the seizure of a vessel. Basically, it's complicated, and that plays into Trump's favor because it's not black or white. He really wants to cripple Venezuela. He wants to take the sanctioned fuel, and they've already made an announcement they will sell it in the U.S. They don't talk about the ownership of the vessels yet, because I think that's a legal question that still has to be addressed. Much like, shall we say, the Russian yachts that were seized in Europe from oligarchs. Europe's got a problem now whether they can sell the monies from those seized vessels if it's really legal. That's a question complicating the EU right now as well. It's not related to Venezuela, but it's related into actions here internationally.
Beyond halting repatriation flights, the U.S. has stressed its determination to deny financial lifelines to the Maduro government, which he says uses it to oppress Venezuelans. You said something about Trump, getting at Venezuela, and I mean, there's the drug fights and all of that. Is this strategy going to work in the long term? Well,
it has to. I mean, in the past, this is not new. Sanctions in Venezuela have been on for many, many years, since Chavez was still the leader of the country. The U.S. State Department lifted sanctions pursuant to special licenses for humanitarian support. So Venezuela was not restricted from selling all of its oil. the U.S. wanted to see a responsible tract of that fund coming in, that it was going to support humanitarian efforts. That is murky waters right now, it's fair to say.
Is there any significance to the targeted sanctions being meted out to Maduro's family and business associate that, we should consider?
Absolutely. The more pressure you put on someone's family, it becomes family pressure. Ironically, the nephews that are mentioned in the sanctions were released on a prisoner swap from the U.S. in 2022 for drug dealing. That is kind of ironic that their names reappear here and there's a denial that the regime is behind drug trafficking. The only reason U.S. has not invaded Venezuela, it's not committing a genocide. It's not at war from within. It doesn't have the typical reasons to get a UN endorsement of an invasion. So Trump won't break those rules. He's not going to invade. He's pulling the terrorism and the narco-terrorism card, and he's dealing with it effectively. 87 people have died, 20-odd ships have been blown out of the water.
All right.
Has it stopped the flow of drugs? No.
I guess we'll see what happens in the coming days. Thank you very much, as always, Alex, for being here with us.
My pleasure, as always. Thank you.